What is going on, fellow alchemists? Welcome to Quasi Astrology. Today we're talking about Saturn in the third house. But before that, I just want to thank all my new subscribers. Thank you so much for all of the support you've shown. Thank you. I mean, really big thank you for that. So if I'm looking a bit terrible, I do apologize. The world is a bit hectic right now, and particularly here in South Africa, just gone into lockdown 3. It's just annoying. But, you know, we all have to go through it, and we all need to stay as balanced as we can, meditate as much as we can, and hopefully at the end, all of us here, all of us who watch videos like this and take part in such subject matter and really try and infuse that into their lives will be a good beacon for the rest of the world to follow in the years to come. So, that being said, this is Saturn in the third house. Let's get straight into this one then. So Saturn in the third house ruled over by Gemini. The third house is the house of communication, our local travel, not the broader travel to foreign lands, but our local travel. And this is where we speak out because it deals with communication, because it deals with the lungs, Castor and Pollux on both sides, you know, the twins. This is the house that we use to really interact with people when we try and bring out our ideas. So this is why it's ruled over by Mercury, which is that mercurial energy. Gemini is ruled over by Mercury, the third house, and Mercury finds its exaltation in the third house because Mercury does the job of pulling from the ethereal world beyond and bringing it into the physical realm. So a lot of times if you have prominent placements in the third house, you will find a good ability at pulling that information from the ethereal realm, from the abstract concepts, from the collective consciousness, and from the subconscious, and bringing it into solid form into the physical world. And so when you have Saturn, remember Saturn is Baal Hamon, the Carthaginian, and before that, the Phoenician period of antiquity. This is the god of the golden age. This is the god who looked over the Atlantean period during the fourth root race in Theosophy. And so this is the god that deals and rules over both Capricorn and Aquarius and finds exaltation in Libra as well, because Libra deals with the third ray of active intelligence. What we see here is that we see the aspects of Saturn taking place and really finding its home in the third house, in the sense that it brings in that limitation. Remember, Saturn's about limitation and delay. A lot of astrologers will go by saying that, but I always say that Saturn is really about purification. Saturn is the god of the golden age, so Saturn will give you what you need, not what you want. Saturn is the harvester. The harvester that harvests the things away, that all the blights and all of the corns that are ruined and not sufficient to sustain you. Saturn gets rid of that but gives you the bounty. But you just have to be hard enough and resilient enough to deal with all of the things Saturn takes away, because that's where the initial depression and anxiety comes in. And find and use that resilience, because Saturn has resilience and brings in resilience. Use that resilience to power on, to continue until you find that bounty that Saturn leaves you, because it is a huge bounty. Just look at Saturnalia, all right? And so when you have Saturn in the third house, remember again, this third house is about communication. It pulls from the second ray of wisdom and love, and that is the ray that our solar system currently is operating under. And so Jupiter finds its exaltation here, and Jupiter is about expansion as well. And why do I mention Jupiter? Why am I mentioning love and wisdom? Well, because if you look at it, it's all about flowing onto things, spreading as much of yourself around. That's why it's communication. That's why it's about travel. And that's why it's about community, you know? And so when you have Saturn in here, you have the limitations. But this doesn't necessarily mean the limitations in the sense that you cannot get that, you cannot access it. Saturn asks and says, I'm going to challenge you in this area of your life. I'm going to make it feel like you're very bereft, or you don't have these concepts, these characteristics, these elements in your life as prominent and as bountiful as other people might have it. And you might have you might struggle in communicating. You might struggle in getting your point across. There might be a lot of frustration that develops from this. And you might struggle in traveling. If you do travel, there might be limitations when you go out, when you find places to enhance your experience, because Mercury also rules in Gemini. Mercury is about the third dynamic principle, the third dynamic element, playing with the dualities of Castor and Pollux, the feminine and masculine principle. So when you're dealing with that and you have Saturn in here bringing delays to both Gemini and the third house, in this case, you do have all of those issues, and those issues can be quite prominent and can be quite tricky to navigate. But once you do navigate them, and once you're brave enough to step out of the mold that Saturn puts you in or makes you believe that you're sitting in, Saturn then helps you along the way. Saturn then says, let's go and do this, let's go sort it out, because it's all about purification. Saturn is a very sacred planet. You know, if you look at Vedic astrology, Shani Dev is what we call Saturn in Vedic astrology, and it's a malefic planet. But all of the malefic planets are the planets that take you away from the physical demonic realm. Remember, by demonic, I don't mean the Abrahamic translation of demonic. I mean the spiritual translation of demonic. This is the physical matter that we encased ourselves in, because we are supposed to be light beings. We're not supposed to be here. But we came through, we fell from the skies, the fallen angels, the fallen ones, you know, and we engulfed ourselves in physical matter. And that is where the issue came. That's the first initial sin. And so that is the reason that Saturn plays a very big role in the chart, no matter where you go, because, and in particular in Capricorn, because it's about purifying that and bringing you out. And that goes to any planet that's been deemed malefic in Vedic astrology, I believe, is that these are the planets that will help you guide you out of the physical realm and move you away from all of the things that are unnecessary. And that could be all the comforts, all the wonderful things that you get in your life, and all the wonderful goods and foods and experiences, the sensualness of nature, because that is demonic according to some of the oldest spiritual books. And so what we're trying to do is we're trying to emancipate ourselves by eliminating our attachment to all of those things around us. So Saturn does that in the third house. It eliminates the attachment to things. In particular, it eliminates the attachment to your fear of communication, or it could really help in guiding you and providing you with that resilience to work with that energy and finally encompass it into your life, to communicate correctly, to not feel challenged when you communicate, to be able to travel and to understand that each limitation is a lesson, and in those lessons is the purified gift that Saturn provides in that part of the chart. So fellow alchemists, I really hope you enjoyed that video. Please don't forget to subscribe, drop a like down below, go into the comment section down below, tell us what it's like having Saturn in the third house for you. More importantly and paramount to all of that, I really hope you enjoy and take very good care of yourself today. And I will see you in the next one when I do Saturn in the fourth house. So until then, take good care of yourself. Goodbye.